In the last video, I remember we were talking about the skimming of what we are going to learn in this playlist. So I promised you that we're going to learn about the syntax. Let's now dive deeper into the syntax. Okay. Now I have here my book. I have created a book, you see. So this is my book where I have some of the syntax for the Remiel Programming Language version 0.1. So now let's see the syntax one for version 0.1, that program starts with start and ends with end, and the program, that's how this is the command block. So why did I create it like that? I'm going to be recording a screen of my device, but I want to show that we're going to be now diving into the syntax of the my programming language, and you will see it on the screen right now. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video and dive into the syntax of this programming language. So that's what I'm going to say. Let's now see what it is made of, the programming language. Now, as I told you that we are going to be creating our syntax, so now let's dive into creating the syntax. I am on the code editor on Android. You can download it on Play Store if you like to edit in this environment. So the first thing is that we're going to create a syntax, and designing our syntax is the first step in creating a programming language. So the syntax has many things, the language paradigm, but let's design a syntax for procedural programming and imperative programming first. We'll add in there later like object-oriented programming and also the realistic paradigm, which I'm going to be creating. So now the syntax, anything when I'm explaining the code, like when I say start, when I'm explaining start, it is like I'm giving it semantics. Semantics is what that section does or what that code does, but the syntax is what right now you see on your screen. So the start block, it is just for there to start the code program or the code block. So when I'm explaining it, it is like I'm explaining the code, or it's what it is meant to do. The start block, it is where my Remiel syntax will start from. So after that, we are going to indent it. I want the program to be indented. So the start is the first point, that is like the syntax. So when I say start, I want to indent it. Let me use two spaces, 1, 2, that is my indent. So, and I say that if I want to put something on a screen, which keyword should I use? I use C, I use echo, I use show. I want to make it unique, so I use anything. This is for me as Remiel, but you can also use yours. So it means that I'm going to use show, and therefore space, and I use this to put the string inside. I use this, or I just put the string there. I just put the string there and I see. So what is correct? But as for that, I want to create a program language, I want complicated programs. I need to structure it well. So let me use this. Let me use the square brackets. Now let me say I want to show something on the screen that I'm going to be using that. What about if I want to keep a variable, to declare a variable? What should I use? Now what you see on line 1, it is the syntax for the start. Line 2 is to show something on the screen, and anything which is in the square brackets, it is which we are going to show on the screen, and anything which is in the quotes or the quotation marks, it is a string. That is the syntax for this language, Remiel. You can create your language with different kinds of data, like you can say no, you don't want that. You want that yours it is to show something on the screen, it is C. Therefore you say, or you can use this. For the Python, you can use this, you can use this, and say you want to see, and you say I want to do it like this, and you say see hello world. Therefore you finish the code. You can also design it like that when you was anything in between the ticks, it's what is printed on the screen. That's also the syntax. So it's like how we want to design your code, but in this case, Remiel, we're going to be using this. you're going to be using this, because I said you want to be like reading a sentence. Like even a programmer, you don't write a program that the machine understands, but you write a program that you can also give another program and read and understands. So after show, what we going to make in version 01? So the syntax that start show and anything in quotation marks, a string. So the next thing is going to be about to keep a variable, to declare a variable, and a variable is a container where you can keep data or information in it. So how do we make that syntax? According to me and my design plus the Neuron innovation team, we have said that let us design that keeping a variable. First, we're going to be having two types. We're going to be having the strict type and the dynamic type. But in the first versions, we're going to create it like when it is strict. When I say strict, is that you give a data type and you continue on creating your thing. Why do I say that you can use script and dynamic? Because strict typing or script typing, it prevents errors, debug it is so powerful because you can prevent errors or workflow. But when it is dynamic, you can give wrong data types, so let us first use the strict. And I say that, how do I call a number? You can say that integer. You can say that you're never going to put number as a data type. I said you're going to put a number as digit, anything. But for now, for me in my data types, I'm going to be using natural to represent number. So I'm going to put natural. The idea for natural is the data type, and I put space, and then how to keep that variable. Will I put that natural and I put the variable name? No. So let me say I'm going to keep natural. How do I make it? To keep the natural, we need to do it. So after putting the data type natural, I have managed to say that I'm going to say that keep, and I say that open, and I put in to say the variable name. So the keep open bracket, open square bracket, and close square bracket, anything in square bracket is where we're going to keep the data. And I say that keep, for example, the variable, we're going to put age, and I'm going to close. So now it means that the data type it is natural. The data type it is natural, and the keep open square bracket, the age it is the variable name, and close square bracket it is the data closed, which means that I am now creating both two things. I'm creating the syntax for the programming language, and I'm also creating what we call the semantics for the programming language. So natural keep age, it is like creating a variable that is called age, but that variable is going to be handling or keeping the data type which is for the number or integer, natural. So there I'm going to put a sign or equal sign, and I put it like I'm going to put 17 because I'm 17 years old. So now I have kept in age 17 years, and therefore natural the data type, and so keep open square bracket, close square bracket. It's where we are going to put the variable names or the identifiers. Now that's how to keep the digits or the natural. How about the text or the strings? How do we keep them? In Remiel, we are going to be keeping text by using text as a data type, and use keep and open square bracket, and you can put like name, therefore we close. So now text is the data type, and keep open square bracket name is the variable name, and close the variable name, and therefore we put equals. So we put the string because name is text is type of string, and put that string that Remiel Halliday. So now this is like the string. It contains my name, and this Remiel Halliday has been kept in the name, and the name is type of it is text. I know that you are starting to understand it. We are now designing the syntax. You can also create your own, but remember mine is copyrighted, the intellectual property, it is mine. So you can modify it. You are free to modify it as long as you first subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you can get consents from me to modify my syntax. My syntax is unique, as you see it. Remiel is made for unique, and it's going to handle complex and complicated programs. Now after that, how do we say that we want to keep something like a point, a decimal number, or a float? How do we keep it? These are useful data types. So for us in Remiel, we say let us make that the point or the decimal number, use point as a data type, and we say keep, and we can say that height and we close. Remember that we need to keep our syntax clean. Let us keep some spaces here to let it be clean. Now the keep height, therefore we say that equals, and we put that 5.7. now this is like we have kept 5.7 in height, but height has a data type which is a point, and a point is a decimal or a float. Now how do we say that it is now true or false? This is like now making logic. If this thing is true, we do this. If this is wrong, so now we are going to use what called a flip. We know a flip, it has two sides. One side is on or off, but for us we're going to make a flip which says that true or false. So we're going to say flip keep, and we open, and we say is young, and we close. So now the variable name is young, and we are going to keep a boolean which we created in our data type is as a flip, and we put it that true, which means that is young, it is true. But when you put here false, it means that it is not young, but I have stored it as true. Now this is the first syntax version of my programming language. So now you have seen that the program starts with start. It comes, and if you want to put something else, you can use show. If you want to keep a natural or a number in a variable, use natural data type, the text, the point, the flip. Now we need to close the program. Now to close the program, we need to say that we're going to use what we call end. Now the program has been closed, which means that our program is going to be looking like that. It has a start and it has the end where it ends. This helps us to make it so cleanable, as long as that now you can read it and understand the syntax, how it is made and how it is made to come to appeal to your language. Now this is the syntax, and I have managed to tell you also the semantics, which means that if explaining the code what it does, that is the semantics, and if the syntax is what you are seeing right now on your screen. If you have enjoyed this video creating the syntax for your programming language, how to create it, you can just dive into subscribing on the YouTube channel, and also creating me a follow, and you can even support me by liking, commenting. It does me and creates a work for me, which is good. So now that's all for today for the syntax designing, and we are going to be looking forward to do more things in syntax designing, and we're going to expand it in the next coming video. But for now, that's all. The syntax I've seen that have the start, the show, the natural, the text, the point, and the end. But this is for the version 0.1. It's the only syntax which is designed for the version 0.1. As versions comes on adding on, we come even so adding the more syntax in it. So the next video we are going to be looking about the semantics. This mainly was for the syntax, and you have managed to make your own syntax right now for the vast version of your programming language. I want to recommend that if you are following my video, you're going to create a programming language. At least you're going now to start to create a few syntax for your programming language. So we have finished to create the syntax, we have saved it. Now the next video I'm going to be talking about the semantics. I'm going to be explaining it more detailed on why it is like that. But the syntax, it is that how code looks, and that's how Remiel will be looking in the coming episodes or in the coming future episodes. And we're going to be the pre-interpreter soon in using Python. So let's dive into learning and creating. Don't forget to subscribe on the Remiel Programming Language, and also to go and look about the Neuron Innovation Team channel to see the documentation of this program. Thank you.